हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, वेलकम बैक टू ब्रेन पावर क्लासेस। तो आज हम क्लाइमेटिक रीजन्स पार्ट 4 कंटिन्यू करेंगे। तो इस पार्ट में हम हाई लैटिट्यूड रीजन्स के 3 इंपॉर्टेंट क्लाइमेटिक टाइप समझेंगे। फर्स्ट है ताइगा और सब आर्किटिक, सेकेंड इज टुंड्रा क्लाइमेट एंड थर्ड इज आइस शीट क्लाइमेट। तो चलिए डायरेक्टली टॉपिक समझते हैं। सो फर्स्ट इज taiga or subarctic region. So observe both the graphs carefully and then we will be answering the questions given below. So look at the first question. Note the values of the axis. How different are these graphs from the earlier ones? So look at the both the graphs axis. So see, the taiga or subarctic climate has extremely low temperatures. The temperature can fall below 0 degrees Celsius and it can reach about 35 minus 35 degrees Celsius. So such a very low temperature were not seen in the previous graphs, earlier graphs. Our second question is, note the highest and the lowest temperatures and their months. So in Whitehorse, Canada, the highest temperature is about 20 degrees Celsius in July, while the lowest temperature is about minus 23 degrees Celsius in January month. And in Arkhangelsk, Russia, the highest temperature is about 20 degrees Celsius in July, while the lowest temperature is about minus 18 degrees Celsius in January month. Third question is, note the highest and the lowest rainfall and their months. In Whitehorse, the highest rainfall is about 35 to 37 in July and August, while the lowest is about 9 in April. And in Arkhangelsk, the highest rainfall is about 66 in August, while the lowest is about 27 in February month. Next question is, why does not a place from a southern hemisphere appear here? Because there is a very little land at high latitudes in the southern hemisphere, and the most of the area near Antarctica is covered with permanent ice, while the remaining land is strongly influenced by the ocean. Therefore, a typical subarctic climate is not found there. Our last question, fifth, is what factors are responsible for this climate? So main thing is ki it is the sub Arctic climate is mainly found between 55 degree and 65 degree latitudes over large continental areas, and these regions are far from the moderating influence of the sea. So they experience very cold climate, cold winters, and a large annual temperature range. Polar air masses, winds, and seasonal weather systems are also influence this climate. Now let's begin with the geographical explanation. सो यहाँ पे देखो, अभी सबसे पहले समझते हैं ताइगा क्लाइमेट। तो व्हाट इज इट? ये क्लाइमेट मेनली 55 टू 65 डिग्री नॉर्थ लैटिट्यूड्स के अराउंड मिलता है, एंड ये रीजन नॉर्थ अमेरिका और नॉर्दर्न यूरेशिया में पाया जाता है, जैसे सिबेरिया और स्कैंडिनेविया। यहाँ का क्लाइमेट जो है, यहाँ समर बहुत शॉर्ट और कूल होता है। समर टेम्परेचर अराउंड 15 to 20 डिग्री सेल्सियस होता है, लेकिन विंटर्स बहुत ज़्यादा कोल्ड होता है और टेम्परेचर इस 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस से नीचे चला जाता है। एंड जो यहाँ का जो रेनफॉल है रिलेटिवली लो होता है, अराउंड 300 to 500 एनुअली होता है। समर में रेनफॉल होती है, वाइल विंटर में स्नोफॉल होती है। यहाँ का जो नेचुरल वेजिटेशन है, ताइगा रीजन की सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट वेजिटेशन है कि नदन कॉनिफरस फॉरेस्ट, जिसे हम ताइगा फॉरेस्ट भी कहते हैं। यहाँ के ट्रीज जनरली सॉफ्ट एंड लाइट वुड वाले होते हैं, सॉइल स्ट्रांगली एसिडिक होता है और ड्रेनेज भी पुअर होता है। यहाँ पे ह्यूमन एक्टिविटी जैसे ग्रोइंग सीजन बहुत शॉर्ट होने के कारण एग्रीकल्चर लिमिटेड होता है। कुछ एरियाज़ में एक्सपेरिमेंटल वेजिटेबल्स और रूट क्रॉप्स ग्रो किए जाते हैं। यहाँ के इम्पोर्टेंट ऑक्यूपेशंस है हंटिंग, लम्बरिंग, और यहाँ एनिमल्स में थिक फर होता है जो एक्सट्रीम कोल्ड से प्रोटेक्शन देता है उनको। तो इसमें एक पॉइंट रिमेंबर करना है, टाइगा एज कॉनिफरस फॉरेस्ट यहाँ पे कॉनिफरस फॉरेस्ट फाउंड होता है. वेरी कोल्ड विंटर प्लस लंबरिंग इज टाइगा रीजन. नेक्स्ट इज tundra climate. Now our second is high latitude regions in the tundra climate. So look at both the graphs. Figure 4.10a Barrow, Alaska. Figure 10.b Barentsburg, Norway. So first question is, why is that both the graphs are from the northern hemisphere? So both the graphs are from the northern hemisphere because tundra or polar climate is mainly found near where? Near the North Pole. It occurs in the northern parts of North America and Eurasia where temperature are very low and vegetation is limited. That's why both the graphs are from the northern hemisphere. Which are the warmest and the coolest months? So in Barrow, you can see in July. In July, the warmest month, July is the warmest month and February is the coolest month. The same pattern is seen in Barentsburg also, you can see, where July is the warmest and February is the coldest month. Third question is, what is the annual range of temperature? So the annual range of temperature is 12.2 degrees Celsius in Barrow, and in Barentsburg it is 5.9 degrees Celsius in Barentsburg. Our fourth question is, why does not the duration of a day, sometimes more than 24 hours, influence its temperature or precipitation? So although these regions may experience very long daylight hours, the sun's rays fall at a very low angle. So because of their high latitude, they receive less solar heat, resulting in a very low temperature. So we discussed four questions. Now let's begin with the geographical explanation. Now see, tundra is located approximately between 65-degree and northern 90-degree north, and it is close to the poles than taiga. But there is an interesting point here. Even though tundra is closer to the poles, its winter temperature is not as severe as taiga. Why? Because tundra is located closer to the sea, so the maritime influence helps moderate the temperature. Geographical distribution we can say कि tundra climate is found in Arctic Ocean borderlands of Northern America, Greenland, Eurasia, Antarctica Peninsula, some polar islands. So this is mainly a polar and near polar climate. Climatic characteristics are: summer temperatures are far around 10 degrees Celsius. Winter temperatures are around minus 20 degrees Celsius to minus 30 degree Celsius. Here, evaporation is very low. Annual precipitation is around 300 to 500 mm, mainly in the form of snow. So, here annual precipitation is around 300 to 500 mm, mainly in the form of snow. The region also experiences coastal fog, strong winds. The proximity to the coast influences its climate. The region is also influenced by polar anticyclones and is associated with the permafrost. One interesting feature is that this region can experience daylight for almost 6 months. But even during this period, temperatures don't become very high because the sun's rays are oblique and insolation remains low. Related features: the natural vegetation is mainly tundra vegetation. During melting period, swamps may develop. They develop as permafrost, meaning the ground remains permanently frozen beneath the surface. Tundra also has mineral and oil resources. Animals such as polar bear, seal, and walrus are found here. And important occupation we see is ki hunting and fishing. The Inuits are an important human population associated with this region. So one thing you just remember about tundra, it is found between 65 degree to 90 degree. It has permafrost, snow covered, tundra vegetation plus hunting and fishing. This is tundra region. So our next one is high latitude regions. Third part is ice sheet. It is the last part of this in this. So observe the estimate Greenland graph figure 4.11a and Scott South Station Antarctica figure 4.11b. First question is which are the warmest and the coolest month? So in Eastmate, July is the warmest month and February is the coolest month. And in Scott South Pole Station, December and January are the warmest months, while August is the coolest month here. Name the months of highest and lowest rainfall. So in Eastmate, the highest precipitation occurs in December, while the lowest occurs in May. In Scott South Pole Station, the highest precipitation occurs in February, while the lowest occurs in July and August. Third question is in what way do you find similarities of these climates with other climatic types of high latitudes? So, like other latitude climates, this region has very low precipitation and extremely low temperatures. Most of the precipitation occurs as a snowfall, and temperatures remain below the freezing point for most of the year. So, the regions are also covered with permanent snow and ice. So, this is the reason. Question 4 is what factors influence the type of a climate? This type of a climate. So, main factors are very low solar heat, oblique rays of the sun, and long periods with little or no sunlight. So these conditions result in extremely low temperatures and permanent snow ice cover. Let's begin with the geographical explanation. So first is geographical distribution. We will see कि the climate is found near the poles in both hemispheres. The main areas are Antarctica, interior Greenland, permanently frozen portions of the Arctic Ocean, associated polar islands. Climatic characteristics are the most important characteristics is the warmest month is a month's temperature itself remains below 0 degrees Celsius, and all months have average temperature below freezing point. This happens because these regions receive minimal insolation. For about half the year, there is little or no insolation. Every even when sunlight is received, it comes at a very oblique angle, and the permanent snow and ice cover reflects much of the received heat back. Because of this, therefore these regions experience the world's coldest temperatures. Precipitation is extremely meager and mainly occurs as a snow. The region remains under the influence of polar anticyclone. Related features are the surface is covered with ice and snow. There is no vegetation and no exposed soil. So because of the permanent ice cover, only sea life and aquatic birds can survive in the surrounding environment. There is essentially no normal agriculture or permanent human settlement here. The major human activity is scientific exploration. So you just remember near poles, all months below 0 degrees Celsius with permanent ice, no vegetation, scientific exploration is ice sheet. So students, today we completed the high latitude climatic regions, taiga, tundra and ice sheet climate. Remember, don't just memorize the whatever we learn now. Understand the relationship between latitude, temperature, precipitation, vegetation and human activities. In next part we will see our last topic, high latitude altitude region, highland or mountain type. So keep learning, keep improving and keep growing with brain power classes. We'll see in next video.